This video we will explore the fundamentals, basics of perceptual neural networks. What are these networks, how we can use them, and what are their applications? So perceptron neural networks are basically binary classifications. They are used in order to classify the inputs into two classes, two linear classes. For instance, we might have several inputs. Our classifier gets them, our network gets them, and puts them as group 1 or group 2. As an example, let's assume that we are in a role of a bank. We get several inputs like income and etc., and our model just gets all the inputs, process them, and based on the importance of each feature, just gives an application and says whether the loan application is granted or rejected. So the inputs could be several things. For instance, we do have credit score, could be as input 1, and the other score could be as annual income. So many other inputs like how many other credits they do have and how much debt they do have, and etc. In addition to each classes, the weights of class is important. For instance, for the bank, the credit score is not as the same has not the same importance as annual income. So weight represents the importance of the feature, and after weight we could say that the other feature would be the bias, and the bias is the knob that is used in order to further tune our model in one way. For instance, after we get all the inputs that we need and we compare it based on the importance of each feature, and the bias help us to modify and in order to get the final outcome in one of the classes. So after getting all the inputs, we will have activation function, and the activation function works as threshold. If the value is below threshold, will be in one class. If it is above the threshold, it could belong into another class. So how the total score is calculated? We will multiply each feature to its relevant weight, and we sum entire feature multiply weight, and at the end we will sum it with the bias. For instance, the credit score has more importance and it's 0.8, and income has less importance and its weight is 0.2. One person applies for a loan. How we decide whether we approve the application or reject it? So we will multiply the credit score to the weight of that feature, and then multiply the income to the weight of that feature, and then since the credit score is minus 0.5, the bias is minus 0.5, we will take it out, and at the end we have 0.32. If we set the threshold to 0.4, what happens? The application will be rejected automatically. But what are the weights and what are the biases and how they set? So the best and the beauty of the neural network is we do not have to set the bias and weight by ourselves. For the bank case, they might have lots of historical data, and these historical data could coming from different resources and different application. For example, in the last 3 years we do have 500,000 of applications, and these applications got rejected or either approved. And for now we do have two features. What we do, we review all these features, we put them all together, and the network starts from a base and then strengthens its classification and looks to the other numbers and adjusts the weight and adjust the biases according to these historical data in order to get a better outcome and modify itself. So after all these steps after the network learns, then it could independently classify every input into one of those classes. And based on the inputs that it caught,